Ooh, we are back. I'm back, ladies and gentlemen. I am back. Here I am. Oh my god, I have missed talking to this microphone this whole time. Every single time I'm away from the microphone, I'm thinking about why do I not have a microphone right now to expel my thoughts, excrete them towards you, and tell you all these beautiful things that are happening, and introduce you and interview these amazing people that I am. Is it because I like conical shaped things in my face? No, stop being cheeky. I know you were thinking about that. No, it's life. Life has caught up to me in a beautiful way. I'm getting older, and I got injured doing training. And I'll make I'll tell a little story about that later on. But I have been out. I have been resting. I have been coming up with new beautiful things, and one of these new beautiful things that I came up with, well, actually, it was always there. The only thing I had to do was go all the way to Brussels, what am I saying? Living in Belgium, and talk to one of these beautiful, beautiful people, Wim Deputter. This episode is with Wim Deputter, and I am so happy and so blessed that I was able to drive over there and have a nice, amazing conversation with him when we talk about beautiful things like how the life of somebody that dedicated his life to martial arts, to truly walking the way. Like I can't even talk anymore. It's been too long. Like Miyamoto Musashi said, the way of the samurai. And I would call him the pretty modern day samurai. Somebody that dedicates his life to the way. It's always training, always focused, always busy, always finding new things to do. It's a never-ending path. And he treads that path beautifully. Oh my god, I even got poetical out there. I'm so proud of myself. I missed you guys. I missed talking. Oh my god, I missed it. But here I am back. And I want to say a special thanks. Special thanks to Browse. Now, remember that the people that I name up right now don't necessarily sponsor me. Or they, well, in this case, some of them do. I get cool stuff from them. But I also like to talk about them because they do amazing. They're amazing people. It's the people behind the brand that attract me, that I'm fascinated with, that I love, and that I deeply care about. And I want to thank them. Thank them for supporting. Thank them for believing in what I'm doing. That is it. Thank you for giving me strength and making me believe that what I'm doing is a good thing. And so, I want to thank Browse. I want to thank Apex. And I want to thank Fight Fans. Fight Fans has given me the amazing opportunity to work together with them in organizing a martial arts event. And isn't that just the coolest thing? I'm getting blood sports vibe just talking about it. I love it. There's going to be an amazing event. 15th of October. This year of 2022, Corona is over, so we can get back together again freely and fight each other. How cool is that? I love it. Another part of the way. And I'm fascinated by all the things that I'm learning. I'm fascinated by all the things that I'm seeing there, and the event is majestic. It's beautiful. It's amazing. And I can't wait to see every single listener that I know that is in this world listening to me. If you're able to come to Fight Fans on 15th of October in Amsterdam, come over. If you see me walking around, give me a hug. Tell me about your life. I'm ready. I'm here to hear it. I'm super curious about you. I want to give a big shout out to Martin Favenne as well. He literally was the person that I joke around during the podcast saying, hey, if you see me walking around, I'm not sponsored or anything. I don't get any money for this. I do this purely out of love, out of trying to bring men together. That is what I try to do. I mean, that sounded horrible. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to build more, or do my part in building more the BJJ community in the Netherlands and in Europe, and trying to bring these amazing fighters, men, women together under one banner, one place, one community, and so we can enjoy each other, enjoy the things that we do together, and have a great time. And he walked up to me, literally, Martin Vervenne walked up to me, put some money in my hands, gave me a hug, and he said, yes, I'm supposed to do this. That's what your podcast said. Man, I had to hold back tears. It was amazing. So I want to thank him too. Amazing guy, beautiful guy, beautiful to do something like that. I just wanted you to know that by you doing that, touched me. Thank you, my man. Going back to Fight Fans is going to happen on the 15th of October. Hope to see you all there. It's going to be a big martial arts event. It's going to be kickboxing. There's going to be boxing. There's going to be food. There's going to be jiu-jitsu. There's going to be a grappling tournament. And there's going to be a special jiu-jitsu thing going on. We're going to set up something beautiful. So if you hear this, further announcements are about to come about something beautiful we're going to do with jiu-jitsu. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. I hope you enjoyed the wisdom of Wim Deputter. And I hope you enjoy your life, your day. And I hope everything is going good in your life. That's it. Ooh.
I know I have an awesome voice. Just weird to hear it.
It's weird to hear your own voice in your head, right? No, it's even weirder when you start listening back to it.
Yeah.
And you get like in your head from what is happening and everything like that. And then you hear yourself and it's the most cringy thing ever to go through. And it's but it's great. I love doing it. So and I love hearing from people like you. Which brings me to the introduction of today. Ladies and gentlemen, in front of me I have somebody that everybody knows who this is. Everybody knows who this fascinating Belgian person is that is sitting right in front of me right now. A genius. And if you do not know him, then you have been you've been hiding, not doing jiu-jitsu, or you've been too long doing preach it, like hiding yourself in Preet Mikkelson's.
Oh, I like Preet, so.
We love him. I love him too. I had him on the podcast as well once. He's a great guy. And one of the things, so guys, I think you already know who this is. In front of me, I have the genius, one of the persons that has been doing so many seminars, so much jiu-jitsu, has grown the jiu-jitsu in Belgium so much. Wim Deputter, thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Julio. Thank you.
Man, I know you from when I started jiu-jitsu. I think you already were a black belt at the time of Malicia team. Do you remember?
I remember them, yeah, but how many years ago did you start?
Oh my
jiu-jitsu?
God, I think 10 now. At least.
About then.
Yeah.
I think now I'm a black belt since 9 years actually.
Yeah.
9 years.
That should be about right.
Yeah.
That should be
No, 10 years. I got it
10 years?
got it on my 30. Yeah, exactly. When I was 30. So 10 years.
10 years.
Uh-huh.
10 years of being a black belt. Oh, and this is literally the only thing you do. You are a jiu-jitsu fighter. You live off of jiu-jitsu. You live with jiu-jitsu. You do everything here.
Mm-hmm.
That is an amazing lifestyle.
Well, yeah. Many people say that, and I love it.
Yeah.
But let's say the moment actually now I came back because for many years I said, okay, jiu-jitsu is the best thing I ever did, and I want to do this always. Yes.
Yeah.
And then I started to live from it, and then I said, man, I love it, but now I have to live from it. I love it a little bit less. But now I don't know. Like the last year, I got like a really good balance, I think.
Yeah.
And now it's the best thing ever.
Yeah. What was that balance you found?
Well, to begin with, look, if you in the beginning you always spend time on the mat. Well, no, because I only have like morning class and evening class, but I'm also here during the day because I'm not always gonna drive back to the apartment, so I stay a lot of time here. Say, okay, man, I don't see any daylight. Okay. And okay,
he says this, but if you see Wim in front of me right now, he says brown as
but I just brown
as any Greek god you might see on television.
Yeah, that's before. I said right now I have good balance. Yes.
Yeah.
So actually, for me, and this is gonna be ironic and maybe piss people off, but for me, Corona was the best thing that ever happened.
Really?
Yeah, it was I made a big fuss about it online because I hate all the rules and what happens behind it and that stuff, and I hate that and I don't trust it. But what I do like is, okay, look, so what happened? So before I was always training, always doing jiu-jitsu, always here, and the life was out of balance, let's say. Okay, and then for 2 years, or at least in the beginning, okay, they close your gym, you're not gonna do anything else for 3 months, supposedly. Yeah. So okay, so what we do when it happened, I had like a lot of free time available.
Yeah.
Okay. So first off, I kept training, and the first 3 months, since we don't know what it was, I took it a bit serious. For all we know, it was a wave of Ebola and we were all gonna die. So I took it a bit serious. So I limit my training to like 2 people and we train. And it was weird at first because I'm used to being with 90 people, like seeing 50 people a day to like very small circle, but I did that. Then I had more time for the family, more time for my daughters, more time for my wife. And then I had also more time to do fitness. I started to do fitness. And then because of all the uncertainty, because maybe the business is going to bankrupt, maybe people are not going to come back, maybe they're going to, I don't know, maybe never open jiu-jitsu ever again. You know, if like everything changed, you get a lot of anxiety. So then I started looking, and then like a fellow person from the Netherlands helped me out. I never met him, but like Wim Hof.
Oh shit.
Yeah, like the Iceman look. So you start to look, okay, the guy goes in cold water. Okay, good. I'm always afraid for cold water. I hate cold. I used to. And then I started, okay, let's go into the lake. And it was not so bad. I started to the breathing, and then breathing helps also. And so that became like part of my routine. I used to, like during Corona, I went every day to the lake and sit there for a bit and do some yoga, and it was like, okay, very relaxing. So what I found was I need some time for myself so instead of always being with too many people, I need some time for myself. So like a reset every day.
Instead of constantly being in that rabbit hole of jiu-jitsu that happens a lot and happens easily. The moment you get into it, you kind of...
But not only that, like I can be sitting here, for example, and people come in, and it's not jiu-jitsu is great. It's more like I can give information about this. Can I buy a kimono? Paperwork. It's also all the mess that comes around with the business. So okay, good. So I started doing that, and what else happened? Okay, and then I started doing intermittent fasting. You know intermittent fasting? You eat 16 hours. You don't eat.
Do I look like I know intermittent fasting?
Maybe you eat.
I'm currently at 120 kilos.
I mean, maybe you eat 23 hours and you fast 1 hour. No, but the point is not that. The point is not the many hours you do. It's just, man, it's not normal to wake up in the morning
and immediately eat.
Go into the fridge, eat. I want to eat. No, like if you nature want an apple, you have to climb the tree. If you want your fish, you have to catch your fish. Okay, that's hard these days also. But what I do, okay, I decide, and I never eat before 2 o'clock. Well, not never. Like if I'm really starving, I will make an exception. But I like to do at least 80% of the time. I like to do correct. Yes. So then good. I drink more coffee to take the hunger away, and I find okay, my inflammation got better. Before Corona, I couldn't close my fingers. From Spider Guard.
Oh my god!
I never played Spider Guard, so it's not only that. So okay, so
after that,
apparently the cold fixes the inflammation a bit. Also, the intermittent fasting also takes the inflammation away.
It gets a lot.
So that's way better. And then since this year, for many years, I did yoga for BJJ.
From the guy on the what's his name?
Sebastian Brosch.
Yeah.
And I love it. I really love it. When I had a hernia when I was 31, and I did every day for 3 years. And it kind of fixed it. So and that, it became real better. But then the problem is, like, sometimes the class is 40 minutes, sometimes it's 30 minutes, sometimes 1 hour. It's very hard to make a routine. And if you have to do it yourself, it's like, not a day. So then I got out of it. So for years, I want to have yoga in the gym here. So I put on Facebook, hey, I want some teaching yoga. And then like our yoga teacher, Rin is her name. She was in Japan still. I'm going to Belgium. I look for a place to
work.
Okay, come over. We do yoga. So now I do 4 times a week. We do yoga, and this really helps me also.
Okay.
And then the last thing just for me, like I always like to do like a challenge. And that's what I want to say actually. And then I come back to this point. Before I did jiu-jitsu, the reason I said that I didn't like it is that I liked it less once it became my life, because that's all what I was doing. I think it's really important to have some hobbies outside. Now, all my friends from before, I didn't lose them, I just don't see them anymore. All my friends are now people who train here with, because I don't have time for anything else. But before I used to go climbing, I used to go swimming, at like a lot of other activities. And this becomes your job, and it's the only thing you do. But right now, outside jiu-jitsu, I go to the lake, like 5 times a week, or go from swimming 20 minutes is super relaxing. And what I started doing now since 1 month, and I really love it, is like apnea, It's like to stay underwater as long as possible. So it's like another rabbit hole. I started reading about that, and it's like a whole training table.
Losing your breath as much as possible.
Right? Like, man, look, it's really crazy. Before like 45 seconds, after 1 month of practice, I can do 4 minutes.
No breathing.
Yeah, like
oh my god.
Underwater, the most I did was like 2 minutes 30 to 3 minutes. Yes,
Yeah.
but outside, say 4 minutes. That's cool. So who knows? Who knows we can do that? I did not know before. I can stay 24 hours without food. I did not know. Now I know I can stay 3 days without food. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And how did that go?
Easy.
Easy.
Well, it's annoying because you want to eat, but if you keep busy, it's fine. Yeah. I also thought I was afraid of cold, but apparently I can deal with cold, so that's good. Yeah. And now the cool thing is, in Belgium here, like, and also in Holland, like in whole Western Europe, the summer starts when? It starts, June, July, maybe May, April. Sometimes they have good weather.
Yeah.
March is kind of okay, but still too cold for most people, so they don't go swimming. Yeah. And then autumn starts around September, October. Okay. Yeah. But now, man, look, the only time I don't really go swimming is when is it? January, February.
That's it.
December, January, February. But I still go in the water, and it's like okay, it's cold. But then March. 12 degrees. Oh, great! It's summer, so I can walk out like without sleeves, without pants, and
no cold.
Yeah, and the only thing that really sucks here, excuse me, that really is not too good is like the gray sky. But then even after a while, I start enjoying the rain. So it's it was really like if you open the news, look in the morning.
Yeah,
you open the window. Rainy weather, and then you think it's bad weather, and your whole day is ruined. Yes.
Yeah.
But why is that? You go on the news report, and the guy says, today we're gonna have a great day of sunny weather. Good, I agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
The weather forecaster, but then he says, today we're gonna have bad weather because it's raining. So rain is bad, and then it changes your whole day. But if now it's always weather.
Look at what now it's always weather.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
In Belgium here, like people complain. That's how you recognize them. I sometimes say this jokingly. If you immigrate to Belgium, you want to get your card. Complain about the weather. Say it's too warm and it's summer, and say it's too cold. You sound like real Belgian. Now you can stay here. That's the best. Yeah.
Look, so there are definitely benefits because of Corona, because it actually stopped us from. And I do recognize that, and I recognize that because I talked to a couple of other people. My last podcast was with Yuri Vermkes, and he teaches in the Netherlands, in Amsterdam. And he was saying the same thing. There was a period of time where we got so obsessed with jiu-jitsu. This is the only thing we did. And one of the things that I was doing the same way was, especially when I started and I was in Malaysia team, it was literally sometimes I slept in the gym. And when I was in Brazil, I opened my own gym there, and I was constantly there. 6 o'clock in the morning was the first class. And 11 o'clock at night, I was doing the paperwork that has to be. And sometimes it got too late, and I was like, I'm sleeping in the gym today.
Yeah.
And then waking up the next day to the first class there was. And it was just consistently this over and over and over again until, in my case, I got some stomach problems. Not the same that Gordon Ryan had. I wish I had those. Maybe my jiu-jitsu got better in the meantime. But I got some good stomach problems, which forced me out of it. And then I was like, I have zero friends outside of jiu-jitsu. I have nothing else to do. And that opened my mind in the same way that Corona did again now for a lot of people.
It just forced me to think about other things. And what I see in my circle, look, many people, during these 2 years, nobody stayed the same.
Yeah.
Some improved, some went downhill.
Yeah.
And most of the guys that I know who went downhill still got to catch up. They catched up later.
Yeah.
But some
went down the road.
Yeah. Okay, how does happen?
Yeah, that's hard, man. How long have you been doing jiu-jitsu now in total?
Well, that depends how you define jiu-jitsu.
But how long have you been training?
Training under the rules of Brazilian jiu-jitsu, that is
it's grappling. Grappling.
Okay, but let's say jiu-jitsu first. Like the Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I think since I was officially 19 years old, so now I'm 40, so 21 years. Yes.
21 years.
Yeah. But the first contact with jiu-jitsu was when I was 15 probably, so 4 years earlier when the internet started. Like before, we never really had access. So I would have to go to the library with my floppy disk, and we Google some techniques of sambo actually, or techniques from jiu-jitsu, and we get like very fragmented knowledge of jiu-jitsu. Yeah, like armbar, this, and we figure things out. So, but that was the contact of 15. But before that, I started doing jiu-jitsu, judo when I was 9. then stopped for a bit because I was also playing football at the same time.
Yeah.
Then I got out of it forever. And when I was like 10 or 11, yeah.
Football sucks. Let it be known throughout the whole world that football sucks.
I also think the world would be better without it.
Without it.
Yeah, but in any case, so I started like grappling, judo, not even high level or good, but just like we were rolling, and Japanese jiu-jitsu, and then from one to the other. And now, for example, when people, so I did like kickboxing, Thai boxing, did capoeira for 7 years, Kali, Wing Chun,
everything,
Taekwondo, even a bit at volleyball, which is something different, like gymnastics, I did everything. Like, and then at some point, when people come here and they say, okay, why should I join jiu-jitsu? Say, well, because it's the best thing there is. It's the best martial art there is.
Yeah.
But I say also this, look, it's not the best thing because I do it. Because, okay, if you Krav Maga is the best, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not. If you're the boxing is the best. But I say, look, it's not, jiu-jitsu is not the best because I do it. I do jiu-jitsu because it's the best that I found during all those years. But this being said, I don't think it's the best martial art. I think the best martial art is wrestling.
Wrestling?
For sure.
Out of all the martial arts, you think wrestling is the best thing? But in aspect of it, now, let's give it a couple of categories because we're jumping into the philosophy part already. In what aspect would wrestling be the best martial art?
The problem is this, like in wrestling, if you put a guy 2 years in wrestling, but like real wrestling, like the average wrestling school, or average jiu-jitsu school,
East or American, doesn't matter.
Let's say this. Let's say we go to America, and you put a guy 2 years in the best wrestling school, or the same guy 2 years in the best jiu-jitsu school.
Yeah,
I think the wrestler.
Well, fuck the jiu-jitsu guy.
I think so. Well, then also maybe he can get caught in like an accident. He can get footlocked. Let's say that's not a problem. But the thing is, like overall, like it says as a martial art, I think it dominates still. But how many wrestlers plus 30 do you know?
That is true. It kills your body pretty fast.
Or how many wrestlers, high-level wrestlers, fight open weight? And I don't think it even exists. Does it exist, wrestling in open weight?
I remember it existing in the beginning when you saw like a weird fight.
Yeah.
And I think there was no limit to heavyweights at a certain point in the Olympic level. Mm-hmm. But this is old. This is old. This is when this is old. This was before even judo took away the rules with legs attacking and stuff like that.
The thing is, if you look at Japan, where they sometimes have like really interesting freak matches, actually, they do this in MMA. There probably was a time when there was like freak matches in wrestling as well. But the point is, from personal experience, I can pretty easy take down people with the same skill of lesser weight. I struggle with my own weight, but heavier people, even if they do not do like any wrestling at all, it's just hard to take them down. So then we're kind of forced to play. So jiu-jitsu is better, that it's more accessible to everybody, and you can do it for a longer time, for longevity. Yeah. But then we come, if you speak philosophically, so it's not because, I like this quote, I said it before, it's like, it's not because you do BJJ that you do jiu-jitsu. But a boxer can be doing jiu-jitsu. What is jiu-jitsu? It's like the soft art, soft art, or minimal. I define as minimal effort, maximum efficiency. Doing what you do in the best way possible. So if you're doing podcast the best way possible, then you're doing jiu-jitsu. Yeah, but jiu-jitsu is not the easy way out. It's not because it's easy because you always you swim with the stream. No. You can very well in life go against the stream, but you try to go against the stream in the most economical way possible. Like, so a mountain climber, let's say you want to climb the mountain. Then you can, there's a bunch of ways to get up there. Yeah. But if you use proper you're doing the hard thing to get up, but you're doing use a smart way, the long route to get up.
The most efficient way to get from there.
Yeah, exactly. And for me, like this, like climbing is the one thing that's very similar to just like the way you move your body, the way you grip. Yeah. So.
This is the first time I hear that climbing is very close to. I already had the idea, or the connection was already made because of grips, purely because of grips and foot placement and foot dexterity
and twisting the hips. Like many people, I cannot show because we don't have camera. But like if you see a beginner climb, they climb like a ladder, the feet open, hands like this. Yeah. But if you see a good climber, They put their feet, they twist their knees in the same direction, stretch out. But the thing is, I used to climb a lot when I was like in my 20s.
Yeah.
Because of more time, and I said this before, it's like very similar. And interestingly, I listened to the podcast of Joe Rogan with Mikey Musumeci last week. He said the same thing. He also likes climbing.
Yeah, but you can see it on their body and his hands.
Yeah,
you know?
but interestingly, he said that it's the one thing that's most similar to Jiu-Jitsu, and I had this idea for many years, and so
it turns out it is.
For some people at least. Yeah.
I was gonna say yoga is a little bit more similar.
Well,
in a way.
Yoga is also the same because what is yoga? Is
slow jiu-jitsu.
Well, yoga is how to move your own body as economically as possible.
Yeah.
Just by itself, in relation to your breathing and to grappling and to gravity. And what is jiu-jitsu is how to move your opponent's body with your own body as economically as possible.
Yeah.
In relation to your breathing and to gravity. So it's just with an extra body. If you cannot move your own body in a good way, then how can you use your body to actually not move but move around? Because actually jiu-jitsu is not moving the other person, it's blocking and controlling the other person and moving around him mostly, and then using leverage sometimes to move. But you understand what I'm saying? So it's
it's clear.
And yoga, like what is yoga? Everything is yoga.
But would you also explain to somebody that would first somebody walks in the door and you're like, jiu-jitsu is the best art because the efficiency, the economy. How do you introduce it to somebody?
That really depends what kind of person.
I had the discussion coming over here, and it was like, what would be the best way to teach somebody jiu-jitsu?
There is no best way. There is no best way. It depends what kind of person comes through the door, and also, do you want that kind of person in your group? That's something very. Or do you want that kind of person the way he is right now in your group? Because I can talk many different ways. For example, someone comes here, I want to be a next UFC fighter, I want to fight. Okay, good. So that guy, you don't have to motivate him. He's like,
he's already motivated.
Yeah, apparently. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you don't have to say why jiu-jitsu, because he knows. Okay, but so how? I don't want that guy in my group like that. So in the early days, we would say, you come in. Okay, let's calm him down. How are you gonna calm him down? Submit, break his ego. But it doesn't work like that. You cannot break someone's ego by breaking him. You can hurt his ego by doing it, but the ego is still there. Yeah? So we have to tame him. How do you tame him? Look, if I go with you and you go all out crazy, I'm gonna hurt myself. Doesn't matter how good or how bad someone is. If he's a big, heavier weight, you're gonna struggle submitting him. Or okay. So the one thing I'd like to do is, again, like we talked about before the podcast, is to try to ride him, try to pin him. For example, go to mount, stay there, let him spaz, let him do.
Make him tired.
Because if I submit him, what happens? I have a chance to lose control. But also if I submit him, he taps and he can go again.
Yeah.
And if I hunt the submission, and I really have to do effort to get a strong guy, then you say, the coach had me, but at least he had to do effort. Or he had to go hard. And he thinks, that's the way to do. You have to go hard. So that guy I would mount and calm down, I'm gonna puke. Yeah, you can puke, but first relax. And when you relax, look, and I say, look, don't struggle. Why are you getting tired? Because you're spazzing. Relax, don't move. Let's just sit here for a while. And maybe it doesn't do it. Say, okay, you mount me. And they go like, and they spaz around and trying to submit. You said, look, who is winning right now? I'm winning because I'm on top. Okay, but your breathing goes. So, are you sure you're winning? Because you don't sound like you're winning.
You sound different.
Yeah, so you want to. So I rather be losing and losing positional wise and be breathing calm than being on top or being in a bum position like. Okay, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. Look, that's the one thing I always try to fix with everybody first coming in. Breathing. If they breathe like that, even without moving, if you have an anxious breath, then you cannot do safe jiu-jitsu. You're not ready to do that because it's dangerous. People who breath like that, they spaz. And when they spaz, I don't trust you, I will not give you anything. Then I will just ride you until you're calm. And
this is something that I also asked this question because there seems to be over the whole world, there seems to have been, in Brazil it was the same way. There's like there's a bunch of dyslexic teachers teaching a bunch of people random things. It just goes in every single direction, I felt. And now in the later days, in this era right now we're in, it feels that people are becoming more structural or more systematic and better and understanding truth what it is.
I think the bad teachers are still there also, but the thing is, in the past, it's not because you're a good fighter
That you're a good teacher.
Yeah. And it's also not because you win matches you're a good fighter. Because maybe you fight bad randoms, or maybe you were just all bad and you were a bit better. Yeah. But now at least because of the social media, which is actually an advantage. Yeah. That way, like people get exposed to get exposed to
exposed.
They see what is good teaching. Which I also had to say before about now. Think about social media. Yeah. Thanks to COVID, I got out of social media almost don't post anymore. So that also
that was a great advantage.
But we're mixing different threads. Yeah. So that's because what we're talking about before. I want to finish about how to introduce people the first time to jiu-jitsu. Okay. So really,
what kind of people come in?
Yeah. So if it's an older person, I think it's this. I said before on my YouTube channel also and in seminars, so look, there is 3 elements to every class. There is the fun part, there is the safety part, and there is the fun and the fun part, safety part, and the learning part. Yeah. So in general, what is the most important of the 3?
I saw that come by with your last seminar.
So look, what is for sure not the most important thing is initially at least is learning. Yeah. Because learning is something that happens by itself if the activity is fun and people stay into it, and if it's safe. Because if it's not safe, then you might break something before you learn, or you cannot really take risks, and it also makes less fun. So rules should be there to make the sport more fun and more safe. Because some rules, if it's total chaos, it's also not really fun. You have to have some limit, you know?
You have to have,
Yeah, like in football, you score by kicking in the goal. Yeah. You can score however you want. Okay, I touched the ball and I have a point, so that doesn't work. You need like some rules to establish. So, but once you have that, look, so when the person comes in, you have to introduce him with a fun way. So if it's a complete beginner, I will not start by doing technique. Now, of course, let's say the first time the person comes in, he comes into the class how it is. So it's not like structured to his needs specifically. Yeah. So because that we have 3 classes of fundamentals a week. People can come to any class. But usually I try to introduce the new people to the fundamentals first. Because in the fundamental class, I will, for example, today we're going to do half guard, let's say. Then I will say, okay, look, we're in half guard. What is a guard? Well, I will explain. Look, the most important thing in martial arts in general is distance control. If I can run away from you, you cannot touch me, you cannot hurt me. Distance control. Okay. Let's say in jiu-jitsu, the most distance control comes from the legs, if you're laying on your back. Yeah. I would not do wrestling often in the beginning, because it's a bit more dangerous for people. Yeah? Okay, I'm laying on my back, and I want to keep you away. You can throw my legs away, and I can retent actively and try to move around, but it gets very tiring. So so that's like swimming. Eventually you will drown. So how do you stop yourself from drowning in swimming without getting tired? That is, grab a piece of wood. So you entangle to something. That's, for example, you grab the leg. Today it's half guard. How many guards are there? Well, there are as many guards as it's possible, or how many positions are in jiu-jitsu? There are as many positions in jiu-jitsu as there is ways to connect 2 bodies together. Yeah. Not unlimited, but probably more than there are atoms in the universe, like with chess. Huh? Yeah, it's the same, huh? So
that is something that I really want to highlight again. How many ways are there to connect to a person's body? As many atoms as in the universe.
More. They call it the Shannon, like in chess, they call it the Shannon's number. There is more possible chess games. Yeah. Than there are atoms in the visible universe.
There you go.
So if you go to the desert, and you count every cent grain there is. It's not even a tenth.
It's insane. And to think that the sport that we do has the same connections, and if you start thinking about it, it does make you crazy with the amount of connections there are.
Yeah, but then again, how can you learn chess even in so many positions? Because the same patterns always recur. So, for example, maybe these 3 things on the board here, these 3 pieces, make a pattern. And that makes another. So maybe that part of the board is completely different, but this part is the same thing. So, for example, it doesn't matter how I control their arm. If I'm controlling it, unrelated to the position, I can do the same control stand up so you learn patterns and you learn different pieces together that work. See, so that's how you can learn that madness.
Fascinating. So you reduce the amount of playable pieces to only the patterns.
Well, patterns are ways to gather information. I have to think about how to phrase that
better. Let's say it like this. This is another question, and it'll link back to what we're saying right now. Which direction would you point somebody within something that has almost unlimited forms of connection? And in other ways, what I want to ask is, how would you introduce, or which way would you tell somebody to go? Like, learn this first, or learn that first, or learn that first. Is it always going to be basics and fundamentals? And so which ones?
Okay. So to do that, I think, to define where you want to go, I think you need certainty.
Yeah.
Okay, you need a constant.
All right.
Okay, so what is a constant? In physics, the constant is speed of light. It's always the same.
Yeah.
It's the one constant everybody seems to agree on. Yeah? So in Jiu-Jitsu, what is the constant? What is the worst position to be in? It's still subjective, eh?
Yeah, okay.
But you need to define one. Okay, so it can be a rear naked, it can be, but any submission is the worst position to be in. Yeah, but submissions are hard. So I'll always say the worst thing to be in is both shoulders on the floor. Not belly on the floor, no. Back on the floor, 2 shoulders pinned.
Yeah.
And if you don't agree, then get your heaviest friend you know.
I can definitely agree with you on this.
and put them, you lay flat on your back.
And let
him sit on you, and you will be mostly okay, because you can still breathe. But then let him sit on your face. And then... So yes. Yeah. So okay, so if you can both agree that the most uncomfortable position, not even submission, most uncomfortable position is something to do with both shoulders on the floor, then we can say a goal is to put the person with both shoulders on the floor. Good. So now we have a game. Maybe 2 people come in, both on their knees, and try to put each other with both shoulders on the floor. Yeah. Let's, for example, say close guard. Any submission in close guard whatsoever.
Yeah.
If I can put your both shoulders on the floor, there is no submission.
True.
If you can lift one shoulder, you can spin. But if you cannot spin, there is no submissions against no submission that should work unless the person on top does not know what he's doing. Yeah? But it should work if you're pinned with 2 shoulders on the floor. Maybe a choke can work, because you can still find like elusive ways to construct an artery, but high level should not work. Yeah. So then you can say everything should go from there. You try to pin the person.
Yeah.
And if you're not good at putting pressure once a person is pinned with both shoulders on the floor, there is no incentive really to let that person get the shoulder up. Yes?
Yes.
So if I'm comfortable laying flat on my shoulder, there's no price for me to pay except honor or something or whatever. Yeah. But so then you have to teach people how to make someone suffer when both shoulders are on the floor. For example, you twist the neck sideways with the shoulder, but you do it nicely. Don't rough. Slow, constant pressure.
Yeah.
But you can stop at any time when the person taps.
Just make it as uncomfortable.
But slowly, because some people have less comfortable. Some people have a higher can stand discomfort way better than others. Yes.
Yeah.
But so once you have that, you define that. So then every escape should probably start, with fixing your structure and then getting a shoulder up.
Yeah.
What is wrestling about? Is about how to pin 2 shoulders. So wrestling is the oldest art. Yes. And in the whole history, arts, like for all the grappling arts, grapple arts with submissions are pretty rare. If you look at all the grapple arts in the world, how many do you know? Sambo and judo, but it's kind of the same thing.
Yeah.
Jiu-jitsu has it, but jiu-jitsu is also judo again, so it's still related to that. And what else is there from like sumo wrestling? Like all those old folk style wrestlings, like all out. It seems that in history, submissions never really mattered. And why should they matter? Because most fighting is based on self-defense and battlefield.
Yeah.
So why would you care about submitting your opponent and say, I want to choke him out? Yeah, if he's alone. But if you're already dominating, there is no point to choking him out anymore. And if it's maybe multiple attackers, you want to get out as soon as possible. And on the battlefield with swords and where people used to fight,
you're not gonna think about breaking arms and stuff.
You're gonna think about being the one on top and crushing his skull and getting back up for the next one. So wrestling seems to be.
It's still one of the best ways to go through about it.
Yeah, and look, and if you're on the battlefield, you want to lay on your back or on your belly? Well, with my belly, I can blast up again and be ready. But on my back, good safety 1 against 1. Don't get me wrong, you have to learn guard. That is the thing. In wrestling, everybody agrees that both toes on the floor is the worst position ever.
Yeah.
In jiu-jitsu, it became, guard is a good place to be. And we should go to a spot where we say, both toes on the floor are actually a pretty bad thing to be, but we like doing the hard things in the most economical way possible, like I said before.
Yeah.
So we're going to learn to fight from a bad position and fight back. So there is a lot of value in that, fight back from the pin.
It's the idea of that is something that is coming up right now too, and something that we might have missed in a certain aspect is the fight back up, and people don't do that anymore.
And what is magically happening now in the world? What is the?
Yeah, that's the trend right now.
Wrestling up. I've been wrestling up since the first day.
Yeah,
because I always want to be on top.
Yeah.
But no, guard is like it's sometimes like, what the hell.
And jiu-jitsu is slowly turning into this big old wrestling match.
Yeah, but it's like so many things I said or I saw as a purple belt. It's not to brag or something, but like, I swear, look, this is something that pisses me off a little bit, but also makes me happy. I don't know how to put it. Okay, but okay. Most escapes. What is the one escape every white belt should know from Mount?
Shrimp.
And what never works is a shrimp. Shrimp don't work because shrimp, you have to move your hip away and your shoulder at the same time. And it's a bad structure. It doesn't work. It only works if the person on top has bad control and you spastically and quickly start shrimping.
Yeah.
Doesn't work. But if you fight against a very big, heavy opponent, the one thing you try to do is to be belly down, to build a base to turtle, and then you can shrimp.
Explode up.
Yeah. So shrimping is still there, but it just taught the wrong way. And then how do we teach shrimping? I will let people run in a circle in the warm-up, shrimp. And then people who already are shrimping for 10 years, they don't need to do that stupid drill. And people who do not know it yet, they're not going to learn to shrimp. It's nothing to do with jiu-jitsu, like sliding your ass backwards on a mat. It's nothing to do. It's completely not relevant to the sport. It's as useful as rope skipping is for a boxer. This also drives me nuts. If you go kickboxing, even the high-level kickboxing gyms, 2 hours of training, 20 minutes of rope skipping, 10 minutes, it's a waste of time. And now people are gonna say, yeah, but the high-level people doing it. Yeah, okay, good. So high-level people are doing something that is bad, but they still put more time in the good stuff, so they're good. And everybody else copies it because it's always been done. And then you get people saying, yeah, rope skip is good for moving your feet to be nimble and to be mobile. Yeah. But guess what? It's also good for footwork. Boxing, just doing your damn footwork drills. And so maybe it's good to have the ability to do rope skipping. Maybe you should maybe do like an hour or two in your life of rope skipping. Now you have the ability. Now never do it again. And
that's it.
How is for conditioning? Guess what? Also good for conditioning. Sparring. That also works. Yes. So there is so many different things. Okay.
I get it.
I guess if you philosophically like rope skipping and get something out of it, you should do it. If you really enjoy your butt scooting on the mat for a warm up, please do it. But there is no value there.
There's no benefit of doing it.
It's a warm up. It's a warm up, but as a warm up, do light boxing. When I do my boxing classes here, striking, I do striking classes. I never do warm up. I just start sparring right away. But nice, slow. And then people say, yeah, but people in our gym cannot control. They will go super hard. Well, okay, that's because that's the kind of people you catered. If someone comes here and he goes hard, man, I said to calm down. Okay, you don't want to calm down? Good. Take out your gloves and your shin pads. Am I kicked out? No. But you, the two crazy people there, going crazy, you're gonna spar now without shin pads and without gloves. But only the two of you together.
Oh yeah, go nuts.
Yeah. No, they don't go nuts. They usually go very calm. And if they still go nuts, okay, you're gonna get it. Maybe now take a break, but that usually works, you know. Okay, if they're completely going crazy, then maybe they should not be here to begin with. Huh? But how do we get
Did you have many crazy people? It sounds like you.
Less than before, but what is crazy? It's not really crazy. Look, we cannot really blame the person going spazzy the first day. We cannot.
Yeah, no, we can't.
Because what happens?
It's normal. You kind of expect it happening as well.
But it's completely normal. It's instinctive. Like if I take you cannot swim, and I throw you in the water. What will you do?
Yeah,
relax. And I'm drowning. Relax. Yeah, relaxing is the best thing to do, but it's hard to do. So how do you do that? You let the people. You let them. Go into the water a little bit lightly, and little by little, he learns to relax. You first show, hey, the water is not dangerous. You put some water in the face. So, for example, when I teach boxing, look, many people, everybody's afraid of getting punched in the face. Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So, how do you teach people not being afraid to get punched in the face?
Slowly punch them in the face.
Slowly, lightly punch them in the face, and teach them how to get hit. So, if you have one area in your face where you should get hit, where you want, if you had to choose one part of your head, with or without glove, to get hit, what part would you choose?
Yeah, forehead.
Thank you, the forehead.
Immediately.
But what does a beginner do when he's afraid? You lift the chin.
Yeah.
So you're teaching the beginner from the very first jab, cross, hook, middle kick, high kick, a trillion combinations, which never happen in a real fight. Because most strikes are singular hits. Yeah. Look at a fight. We never combine. I waste so much time in my career doing stupid combinations that never worked. And then got hit with a jab mid-combination. Why did that not work? Because combinations don't work. Combinations only work if the guy goes into full cover and then you can pick your shots. But it does not work in an open stance. Yeah, that doesn't work. Yeah. Doesn't work. So, but look at this. So what is the first exercise I do when someone comes in? For boxing, for example, you're gonna get hit. How? Put your hands on your back. Hands on your back. And you're going to take every punch on your forehead, but lightly. We're going to go lightly. Yeah? Lightly. If your head pops a bit backwards, that was bad. Because if you get hit in real life and this happens, you go backwards, you have to go forward, restabilize before you can fight. So the first thing is headbutt the hand. In real fight, if I headbutt your hand, you're going to punch me once. And then I'm not teaching people to block punch with their face, let me be clear. I'm just saying they will get hit.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is not that kind of class.
Yeah, and then next drill is...
I can hear the shit talking already happening.
No, look, everybody who discusses this is wrong. This is correct. Well, it's tested. I tested here. I don't care if high level people... I know this is true. I know deeply inside this is true. It doesn't even matter if anyone agrees. So, how do you teach a kid swimming? If he's afraid of water, what do? You put a little bit of water in the face. Yeah. So the person who is scared coming into jiu-jitsu, you put a little bit of pressure. You don't let them fight straight away. That's the person who is scared. And some people will be scared for a long time, and maybe you do not have the time in your gym and the resources to make that person not scared of jiu-jitsu. Yeah. If someone is, for example, agoraphobic and afraid of being not so afraid of people in general, then I think jiu-jitsu can help you. But if you're not there, they can even enter a gym and not freak out. Then you should do some other work before I can help you doing that. If I had a limited time, I could probably help you. Yeah? But if you come in, and now I do the opposite. If you're in and you are, not afraid, but you want to have fun straight away, then you don't start with a boring technique explanation. Then you start with a game. But a game that is safe. So for example, with kids, it can be, for example, lay belly down. Yeah. And try to put the other person on his back. Simple games, or it's super hard. It is super hard if you know how to defend it. Yeah. So and that is the thing. And now with boxing, I started doing for a while. I had a fantastic idea when I started the gym. I want to make money. Of course, everyone wants to make money. And what do you see that works? What do all those fitness centers do these days?
What do they do?
What do they have? What is the most popular class in a fitness center, except weightlifting?
I would not know. I spent too much time in the jiu-jitsu gym.
Taibo.
Yeah.
Or Zumba. Yeah. Or aerobics. Or now they call it fitbox. It's always the same beast in a different package. It's high intensity stuff where technique doesn't really matter and you're gonna sweat. And what people are gonna get? People who do not really like sports. They just come because they want to lose weight. Or want to be healthy. Yeah. But it's a very... Look, I want to be healthy, but my goal with jiu-jitsu is never to be healthy. That's a consequence. So if just your whole motivation is to be healthy, when are you healthy enough? You're never healthy enough. You're never strong enough. You're never good enough. You just have to have intrinsic fun going to the thing itself. And aerobic every day is so... I do know one person who does aerobic his whole life. Probably the only person doing that is the one who makes money with it, I suppose.
Yeah.
Nobody does that. So then you're doing that. After a year, you stop, and that's why every year something is a new hype. Then it's Taibo, like I said, kickfun, kizomba. And don't get me wrong, the person who created this probably put a lot of thought into it, and it's probably some art to it. It's not the reason why most people do it. So don't let me make black those sports either. Any sport you do is better than not sport at all. Yeah. But it's the point. But how did I get here? So, but if you do like a martial art,
we were talking about the boxing, and then the how you teach it and everything like that, and then you had an idea to start something.
Of course, yeah. So you make people come in and you make them have fun with the art.
Yeah.
And then why is it so fun? Well, it's not always fun. It's often not fun because your face gets crushed and you're there. But it's fun to find the way out. It's fun to solve the puzzle.
Yeah.
It is not fun to lose, but then it also doesn't really matter to lose. So what is fun about jiu-jitsu? It's like it's a puzzle that never ends, you know. And it's always like finding a new solution. It's always like a different mind game, and benefit of that, you get the friends, you get
the community.
You get other benefits, also disadvantages but disadvantages like, for example, breaking our limbs, mangling our fingers just because we're doing it wrong.
Yeah. This is kind of a way that you do an introduction for people to be more at ease and be more tranquil when they're doing jiu-jitsu and everything like that. One of the greatest questions and the biggest questions I get, a lot of listeners also listen to this before they go to a competition. Before they have to go to fight, before they go to a competition, people they start listening to this podcast because they want some kind of ease of mind, like get their minds off of something and doing the competition. Is there a way that you say, like, is it beneficial to be more stressed going into a competition? Is it better to go more tranquil, breathing? Is there breathing involved and everything
but now
like that?
I didn't do it before. I started doing it now. Okay, so now when I compete, I go fasted, and I maybe drink like a Red Bull Light because I need caffeine.
Yeah,
and that's another story, because caffeine cuts your hunger, and also, like I read, if you drink caffeine when you train, you become a different person a bit. So you need to be the same person when you compete. So if you train on caffeine, you should always fight on caffeine. Yeah. That's like one thing of it. But so okay.
The advice you would give.
Okay, advice. Look, so what happens if you go a bit nervous into the fight? People say, I should be a bit nervous. No, you shouldn't. You're gonna be nervous. It's not like you should. The goal should be to go there completely zen, completely like you have to like in the middle. Like what is it? You ever did yoga?
Yeah.
What is the best part of yoga?
When your mind shuts off.
Yeah, shavasana. The last part of yoga where you lay on your back and you close your eyes, and the goal is do not think, just be. That is the state of mind you want to be when you go.
Yeah.
If you should also read, for example, the book of the Nine Rings.
Oh, from Musashi.
Yeah, they say like this,
5 rings.
Yeah,
the book of 5 rings.
I think it's 9 rings. Doesn't matter.
5. Miyamoto Musashi.
Book of Rings, not to be confused with the Lord of the Rings. Anyway, so Miyamoto Musashi. Yes, exactly. You can even listen on Spotify. It's like a guy who reads it. But the point is, like he says, okay, when you're the warrior, let's say warrior, okay, you have to go, not caring that you will die. You have to go there, not caring you will kill. Not that I'm saying that
that it's a death match. Ladies and gentlemen, don't go into a death match.
No, but it's a state of mind. But I'm saying we should look. Don't let me get me wrong. I don't see myself as the warrior who goes to the fight competition. Don't compare, because I get crazy with people comparing themselves to, we are Spartan. No, you're not gonna die. You're gonna have
fun.
Not even fight. Jiu-jitsu is not a fight. It's a game. You know.
Yeah.
MMA is more of a fight, but even that is still a game. You know.
Yeah.
Fighting is when you go. We don't fight these days, yeah. But okay, but you should still be there, not caring about the outcome. Because if you care about losing or winning, you will be hampered. Yeah. So the advice is try to do that. How do you do that? Well, if you're too stressed, then you act too soon.
Yeah.
If you're too anxious, you act too late. Yeah. But if you're in the moment, then you act.
And that is the perfect.
That is the goal. Yeah. So, but then also, for many years, I had game plans.
Yeah.
You go into your fight, and I still think game plan is important. Something that climbing also is in common. For example, before you start climbing, you check out your route. So, it's important to know, if I cannot climb this way, I have to maybe go that way. And if you see it doesn't work, you take a step back where you're comfortable and recalculate your route. Yeah. But ideally, you should be able to do it pre-planned. But if you get too focused on your game plan, or your game plan is not encompassing, it also creates fright. Because, so for many people, including myself, for many years, my game plan was, still is, my best position still is half guard.
Yeah.
So pull half guard. Went good, because I was like super stressed until I had my half guard.
And then you calm down.
And then you have to calm down. Okay. But every once in a while, that started happening later, the guy pulls, so for like the first 10 years of my career was pretty easy. Everybody just like to pull guard, half guard. That was easy.
Yeah.
And then later, people started to do double guard pulls or even jump over my guard. That time, the moment I pull, and then, okay, crap. And the moment pull before, there goes your whole game plan. Because I didn't have a game plan against the person pulling guard before. I know I'm good in passing, but like it's pretty hard to pass a person's guard if he's not required to move according to the rules.
Especially if you're in a tournament setting and you're fighting a bunch of different people.
Yeah, but also the rules now say, it's a different discussion, but the rules say stay active. Yeah. But the person on the bottom, because his bottom bit, he's stuck. Oh, he cannot move. So the person on top stalls and he has to move first and he loses. Yes? I said that before, so I don't want to go too deep into that.
Yeah.
But okay, so your game plan should be deep. Like, okay, I have my half guard, it's good. Okay, I have my good pass, that is good. So how do I can pull half guard with a good grip? So you get that grip, and then the guy pulls guard. So your grip should be your first grip should be good enough for takedowns. If you want to do takedowns, should be good enough for the guard pull, and should be good enough to go into passing if the guard pulls guard. So for right now, my game plan is one specific grip. That's it. And that is pretty achievable. Then I have to play the distance game, go in, go out. Okay, and if I lose the grip, if I don't have the grip, then I have to fight for that grip. That's it.
And I was always thinking that was insane, because I used to tell my teachers, like, game plan doesn't work for me. I always went into the fights way too stressed, stomach aches, everything. You know, I always ended up fighting, and the moment I get there, it calms down. But going into the fight was the most stressful part.
Oh yeah, once you have contact, it's over.
Yeah, it's usually done. And I want to like tell people this too, you know, like the moment you put your foot on the mats, as it would say, that there's no way out, that's when the calmness kind of comes as well.
But you still need a game plan, because game plan is certainty. Without plan, you're always anxious. You're like, what the hell? No, and then you never fix. You always. So you need a game plan, but very detailed, that takes everything into account. Okay. And a plan B. So that's the way. Plan your game. How does your game plan evolve? Well, you train and see what works, and
you keep making it better. You'll never have a definitive game plan, I think.
And then on training, I follow my game plan for a while because it works. And then sometimes, okay, now I'm going to do something completely different, just to be interested. But it also helps to be more comfortable in different spots. Yeah. And like ideally, you should always pull guard when the guy is out of balance. Because if he's in balance, he can react. If he's out of balance, he needs to react. Not lose balance. So every time you pull guard when a person is in balance, you take a risk.
That sounds very, very, very smart.
Yeah. But occasionally on training, because sometimes everybody pulls to be the first, and I also want to play guard, so sometimes I don't care, just pull guard, even though it's not a good guard. And you get smashed, and then you have to fight back, which is also valuable. So it's everything a bit. But
beautiful, man. Beautiful stuff. I know that our time is kind of running out.
Okay.
For this round, because there is a class starting soon.
What time is it now?
It's 9 to 6.
We can do 20 minutes. And that's another thing. I never start my classes on time.
Really?
But there's a reason to it. For one, I'm never on time. That's the behind, but it's also an advantage.
I think this trend is within the Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
But I really put thought into it, because now people say I'm always late because I'm lazy. I'm not lazy because I don't care, but I do care. But when I'm here at 6 o'clock, and people come into the gym, who, like many people are not on time. And why you're not on time? Maybe because you don't care, or maybe because you didn't find a parking spot, or maybe your son peed his pants right before you left. It can be many reasons. The point is, I do not think it's normal to arrive at 6 o'clock or 5 to 6. No, you arrive between 6 and 6:15, I think. Yeah. And in the first 15 minutes, what do you do in the class? Oh, should be warm up. I don't do warm ups. I think I am jiu-jitsu instructor. Maybe kids, you can play a game to warm up. But how old are you?
Me? Now, 34.
You know your body better than I do, so I don't know what you need for warm-up. So you come in and you do your warm-up. And if you think you do not need a warm-up, then maybe do some drills. Or maybe, why do people come to the gym? They come to relax, they come to vent a bit. So maybe the first 15 minutes just have a chat with each other, like just talk a bit and ease in.
And that is something that really is different in jiu-jitsu than most other sports where it's very regimented. With us, it's more of a community. You always come into the, I think because of all the contact we have with each other, for some reason, all the hugging and all the the jiu-jitsu we do, it's different. It creates this family bond. It creates this kind of, we know each other a little bit better. Yeah. So it's like, come into the class, warm yourselves up. Once you're warm, in like 10 minutes we start.
Yeah, and what is a good warm-up? Well, any motion you do in jiu-jitsu, it can be even just a slow roll, which is fine. People come here for rolling. And like, the one thing that pisses me off when I come here is just some people just sit there and wait and don't say anything. So look, that is useless. Or maybe you want to meditate and it's fine, but talk a bit. Talk about your day. Talk bad about your boss, about your teacher. Vent. That's good. Or roll a bit, and then after 6:15, then I start.
Yeah.
And then the next class, what do we do that? Because now my class is an hour. We lost 15. No, because the class takes 15 minutes longer. And then the next group can already warm up, and then like everybody talking, and
you have a good system going here.
it works out like that. I don't know. Some people go crazy because like, no, it always starts late. No, it doesn't start late. You don't start. It's just the first 15 minutes. It's your time, you know.
Yeah, just for you to arrive and do your thing.
If you want to warm up, arrive on time.
And I was starting to do that in our classes too. And instead of warm-ups, because I thought I was looking at the warm-ups in jiu-jitsu, and I was trying to create some stuff as well, and some animal movement things, and some time of idea. And then at the end of the day, I was like, all of this is useless.
No, really, but like, how many things? It's like drills. How many drills do you need?
Exactly.
It never ends.
So you know what I started doing? Flow roll. Hey guys, welcome everybody. Grab a partner, let's roll.
I never drill.
No,
never.
You're done with drilling?
I never did.
No.
I had like a phase of like 6 months when I did it.
Yeah.
Mostly when the Cicero Costa guys started to come to Belgium to teach.
Oh yeah.
They're like drill.
Yeah.
But I don't think there is like any high level guy.
That's still
I would be wrong. They call it drills. But what is drills? Look, I don't think like
when we say drills, we're talking about those short little movements,
okay,
like
well,
one.
No, then we're good. Well, I think it's like okay. It depends how you define a drill. Because a drill can just be like no name of exercise, yes. But for example, doing it like okay, throw his knees to the side, knee slide, jump over, arm bar. That is as useful as jab cross hook middle kick high kick. That's not really useful because then you're just kicking a bag. Kicking a bag can be useful to make some strength, but it also be like action reaction. So maybe I pull your knee sideways and I step sideways. One single motion. Okay, now the reaction. And then that's reaction. But the problem is you need a partner to react good to that. So considering it, many people in don't know like okay, if you teach a class, good partners to show. How many people are good to show the technique with?
Yeah, usually one,
maybe two, and you can teach everybody to be good, but by nature, not everybody is good because you don't know what reaction you want to give.
Yeah.
So then the person who is doing the technique, as a teacher, as a practitioner, needs to train a reaction to an action. He does not know what is the proper reaction, he doesn't know what is the proper action. So usually when I let a person, often when I teach a class, and I'm teaching, I am the uke, and I tell, okay, I am doing this. You're going to react in that way. So if I explain a sweep, I have to tell him where the weight goes. You understand what I'm saying?
So instead of you're the one doing the technique on somebody, you're in this case going to be the uke.
Both.
Depends
what is the part. Like I don't ever really know where my class is going to end. I always know where I'm going to start. I have like an idea what I teach. But sometimes, oh man, this is interesting. So for the whole week, the last 3 weeks, I've been doing inside the La Riva.
Yeah.
Starting from my butt, like 50-50 de la Riva.
Yeah.
50-50 inside de la Riva, so because it's a 50-50 position.
Yeah.
Over here. And it's like something that never happens, basically. But it's still an interesting starting point to explore everything around. And okay, now I think I've done. But no. Then every day, some small group change. Really, I have to teach everybody again. So I've been now being interested in one stupid motion or one stupid position for the last 3 weeks. And I can do this for the next 6 months. Till people say, hey man, I'm a bit bored. Okay, let me do something else. But I think it's not even smart to go always like, technique of the week. Because then jiu-jitsu becomes like a fragmented puzzle of pieces that may or may never hit. Yeah. But if you start from position 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, because in the end, what is the goal of every position? You need to reach a submission. Okay. What a position you submit from? Let's say mount in the back. Not precisely, but more or less.
Yeah.
So everything leads there eventually. So it doesn't matter how you get there if you start and you start slowly in those scales.
I get what you're saying. Wouldn't it be easier than to start backwards?
Oh, I do backwards, but what is backwards?
Start by the end.
Yes.
But the submission, then work yourself backwards into those different kind of positions.
True, but true. Yeah, look. So jiu-jitsu could be taught like that. You start from the rear naked, but then you have to fight. That's what I do actually. I start from the pin. So wrestling should be started from the pin.
Yeah.
Defend the pin with one shoulder, bring the shoulder back.
Yeah.
So and then little by little the guy stands up. You can do that. Safe and good way to teach it, but it takes a long time. And people come into the gym halfway through and then they miss that early part. So in reality, it doesn't really work. But every point in jiu-jitsu is the end point of something else.
That is true.
So what I do, for example, with the De La Riva.
That's the whole problem with what we're trying to teach. It's like
so look, guard is distance control. Yes?
Yeah.
So I started now De La Riva, both sitting. And I keep the distance.
Yeah.
And the person tries to come up. And I try to keep him not from coming up. That's basically a sweep in reverse.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Oh.
Yeah. And then how do I sweep him over? Well, I do so hard my best to keep him down. And he does so hard his best to come up. And he overcommits and now he goes over on the other side.
Yeah.
So being on top is all about getting your weight exactly in the middle and pinning the guy.
Yeah.
And being on bottom is keeping the person away from you
Distance
in
control.
one of the 4 main in-between directions.
Yeah.
That's it.
It's so simple.
I want to say something else.
Think
Think about this. Think about this. Yes? There is not a single submission in jiu-jitsu that works. Every submission in jiu-jitsu works in that direction. Works in front of you. Armbar works when a person's weight is there from you. Footlock works when it's there. Triangle works when it's there.
So Wim is pointing in front of you. So every single submission would work in essence when
the person's weight is in front of you. Now you're gonna say, spinning armbar. Yes, indeed. You spin, and where does the person end up? Back in front of you.
Yeah.
You have a footlock. The person stands up. You sweep him over. He falls
behind you, but again in front of you because you roll through.
Yeah, and of course it's possible to get submissions on the way there. But ideally, like if you do not, like my game is triangle, baiting and stacking and passing from there. Yes?
Yeah.
So, and because of people always close the triangle and make a ball, I can go forward, there is no triangle.
Yep.
And then, you're stupid, you're crazy for giving, no, it's not, it just makes sense. And of course, sometimes you get caught because the squeeze can be a bit tight or the person a bit larger and he can it's not because some people can make it work on some people. Or people have bad triangle defense and can get away with it, and it's not the correct thing to do. So I don't even see why it takes so long for some people to wrap their
their minds around this idea.
See, the worst of the worst,
in
jiu-jitsu or in martial arts, post technique video on Reddit. Man, it's like okay, Facebook people like it. YouTube is a bit in between, and then Reddit is
they'll kill
insane.
you. They'll kill you. I mean, I heard it from. Do you know Ozzy?
No. Yeah. Ozzy Garami.
Ozzy Garami.
His channel is booming these days. Yeah, I saw that.
I had him on the podcast as well, and he was saying, "Man, I had to leave Reddit. There was wars going on Reddit."
But it's good. You know what is funny? I said this recently. Look, and this takes us very deep actually, if you think about it. So. One of the best performing YouTube channels I ever saw in my life, yes?
Yeah.
Is I think it's like a guy from Ethiopia, I think.
Yeah.
Who's teaching very, Krav Maga is bad by itself, yes? But it's very stupid, even the Krav Maga people think it's bad, self-defense videos. Yeah? And everybody thumbs down. That is rubbish, that is crazy, that is stupid. And what do people do? In WhatsApp groups, hey, look at this stupid guy selling this stupid stuff, and the algorithm makes it go around, and those channels is like millions of followers. It's because of something, but that's the same thing that happens in the media. like bad news sells. Quality doesn't sell.
Bad news sells.
So it's really sad. It's really sad. It's really a problem with everything. It's really a problem.
We came around to this now.
Yeah,
we were talking about reverse teaching and what was teaching. And that is a great thing. I was one of the other questions that I wanted to ask is in the benefit that this kind of sport, as you said, when you warm up, you don't do warm up. You rather have people talk about their day, come into the connection, the community.
Have like an interval in which we can arrive to be on time. Hey, by the way, this is cool. Listen to this. If you go to the movies, and the movie starts at 10:30.
Yeah.
What time does the movie start?
Yeah, not at 10:30.
10:45. It's first the trailers. Yes.
You're trying to justify.
No, it's true. And if you arrive late in the movie, do people complain?
No.
If you run by for the screen, if you make a lot of noise, people hey, what? Don't do that. But if you slowly go in, and don't sneak in on the screen, doesn't matter. So if in my class there is no push-up, if you arrive late, you arrive late. But you just don't walk in front of my face. You don't disturb the class. You don't put popcorn on the floor, and we're cool. We're fine. So then it's good. See?
So this is maybe then a good moment to wrap a little bit things up.
Oh, you're bored.
No, it's not bored. I see doors opening around here, and I know you have to give a class. I love this.
I'm joking.
On the board? No, of course not on board. I'm talking to you. This has been one of the top ones I've had. Let's say it like this. Let's give you the next 5 minutes is probably a message that you would want to give to people that are starting jiu-jitsu, that are doing martial arts, that are living out of it. I know I caught you by surprise.
No, it's easy.
It's easy.
So what is the first thing to do when you do jiu-jitsu?
No, I would say like this, not the first thing. Let's say a message you want to give to people in whatever it may be. I would say like keep it into martial arts in some kind of way. Maybe guide them. Help them and guide them. Guide them.
I have a bunch of stuff.
You have something.
I can have opinions about everything. But I probably always start jiu-jitsu. But the first thing is when you do jiu-jitsu, start with breathing. Yeah. I used to be a swimming teacher for many years. You cannot teach someone swimming who is not. You cannot teach a person who is afraid of the water.
Yeah.
It will not work. And you cannot teach someone who is too eager to swim. I'm so happy. If you have a kid and go to the water, I want to swim.
Blup, blup, blup,
What do? How do you teach that kid?
Yeah.
Play. Go play. You had your fill. You're a bit calm. Now stand still for a minute. Stand still for a minute and look in my eyes for 1 minute.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can teach you. Person who's afraid, slowly introduce sparks of water in their eyes. Like we call watergewenning. I don't know how you
how do you say it?
Watergewenning in Dutch.
Yeah.
Like get accustomed to the water. Now we can teach. Jiu-jitsu the same thing. So the afraid person gets brought to the middle. The eager person gets brought to the middle. We both need to be in the middle. Yeah. So then, once you're there, how you define when you're relaxed? The eager kid, I want to play. No, I don't want to. It goes both. See, it's always the breathing that tells it. So you gotta breathe. Like in yoga, I don't even know the name anymore, but literally jiu-jitsu is this, like. Always from the belly.
Yeah.
And this is very important. And every time I do strength in jiu-jitsu, I breathe in. During my breathe in, I keep what I have.
Yeah.
And when I breathe out, that's when I put strength.
When you
so
push
for example, I put my elbow, my knee, and I put.
And then
and I don't make pressure, because pushing someone away is also pressure. You do compression. Because people always say like jiu-jitsu is about pressure, it's about compression. And the person can react to, if you press, then you're out of balance. If you compress, you're in balance. Yes?
Yes.
Okay. So that's the one advice. Go with relaxed breathe. Yeah.
Breathing first.
Yeah. Second thing, and this ties back to education in school, and like belts don't matter. Like really do not matter. As don't do diplomas.
Yeah.
The reward of learning.
That should be
the skill you learn. Yeah? The award of training jiu-jitsu is that you will be better in jiu-jitsu and other things. But it's not. Oh, you have your belt, or you have your diploma, what did you gain? Okay, if the paper or the belt becomes the goal, you will be disappointed once you get there.
Yeah.
And in relation to that, don't do exams. Don't do stupid exams, because it's like a moment of it's like one moment of performance, which doesn't really reflect the whole process. And then on that moment, you're doing an exam of some things that people before you determined were important. But that person is just his opinion. Maybe for you, different things are important.
Yeah. I get that.
There's
I get
many
that,
ways
and I definitely agree with that. Don't do an exam. It's stupid.
Even in school, you should not be doing exams. You have, like, man, I teach a kids class, and I, like, in the class, I say, look, is it okay to make mistakes? And then many say, it's okay, because you learn. But some say, no, we cannot make mistakes. Why can we not make mistakes? Because then we fail and we don't pass. But you learn because if you don't make mistakes, it means you don't try anything, and if you don't try anything, you don't learn.
Yeah, so that's some of the mindset that people have. Like mistakes are deadly.
Come us to the last part.
Yeah.
Making mistakes safe, both in school and in jiu-jitsu. So you have to dose yourself that you can safely take risks and safely make mistakes. So when you do striking, do 1% on the head. 1%. A person knows we can sit in the face, it's bad. Yeah. Do 30% of kicks because you have to respect a bit the kick, but not too much. 100% on the body because you have to be a bit afraid of that because it's not too bad. You know? And the same with jiu-jitsu, like don't, like, for example, submissions. We don't finish submissions here. We just keep the arm straight. Can I get out? Okay, you got me.
Yeah.
But not tap, because then the moment is over. Then, you know what I mean?
You can't figure it out at the moment.
There is no value in a tap. There is value in threatening with a break. There's no value. If you're on the street, you break someone's arm, the guy is out. He will continue. But if you threaten with a break, hey man, calm down, or I will break your arm, then you might calm him down. See?
I love that. Well, I think it's a good moment to wrap it up because I have a lot of things.
Thank you.
And I had an awesome conversation.
Me too.
I hope there's a second part soon.
Of course, man. Like anytime.
Did you like it with the whole headphones?
Of course. And I love talking, so.
I didn't know this. Hey, man, this was so everybody listening, thank you very much for listening. This was Wim Deputter with giving us some amazing wisdom, some amazing insight, the things that he do in things. And I'm very happy for this conversation, and I hope that everybody.
Me too, man. Anytime. It was fun.
Man, thank you very much, and thank you all listeners. Have a wonderful day. Be blessed. And
one thing, I tried to grow up my YouTube channel, so.
Of course, promote whatever you want.
Wim Deputter BJJ.
Guys, go follow Wim Deputter BJJ. I looked into it because before I came here, I started looking into stuff. That's where I found the fun, safe, and learning.
Okay.
And there was an ass whooping camp.
That was at Raoul's.
Yeah, at Raoul's. There's going to be a new camp soon.
I'm not part of that, but yes, there is one. And
but you have a camp right now.
I'm gonna have a camp in September in Crete. Actually, joining for the camp in Crete.
There we go. So if you want to go,
just text me and I will put you on any social media. You can text me. You can send me a message and I will put you in.
All right.
And
everybody will then, if you want to find any links or anything like that, you'll find it in the description below this podcast. And then you'll find everything back.
Perfect.
All right?
Great. Thank you.
Thank you very much, man.
Thank you.
And we are...